You're like, I'm done, I'm done, I'm done. And then it becomes real. You're like, holy stink, I am going to America. Hi everyone, welcome to another video. If it's your first time, welcome to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, how's it, what kind? Now in today's video, I know I have tons of Aupair videos, but a friend of mine actually asked me what happens for the J1 visa interview. So in today's video, I'm going to give you guys a step-by-step on what actually happens, the whole process, how to prepare for the J1 visa. So hopefully if you're watching this, I know the borders just opened, and so you're going for an interview soon and you're pretty nervous, you don't know what to expect. So stay here because I've done it not once but twice. I've done it in Durban and I've done it in Joburg. So I feel like I'm pretty not super educated about it, but I will give you guys a breakdown of both my experiences. And I did it in 2016 and I did it in 2019, so it's 2 different years. The rules had changed, so yeah, stick around because it's going to be fun. Also, I have my phone with me because I wrote notes down, that way I don't forget anything. And hopefully I don't forget anything. If you have more questions, just hit me in the comment section. Number 1, what to wear on the day. I always tell people it's not like a prim and proper interview with a short tie, a blazer, or dress to impress, because you're also going to change at the embassy. So take into consideration that you're going to take off your shoes, your belt. Who's calling me? You're going to take off your shoes, your belt. You're going to have to take off stuff because it's like the airports. Everything that's metal, you have to take out and go in through. So consider that. I would even go like this. Wear a pretty shirt, jeans, top if you're a girl. If you're a guy, also jeans, top, jacket. Just be like decent. Don't be like a hobo or a khosha. But at the same time, don't come like in a suit, tie, collar, that situation. It's not that interview. Number 2, make sure you have all your things, like all your documents the night, not even the night before. I would say like at least 2 days before, because checking the night before you could run into a problem. Let's say you don't have an extra copy of something. I was over prepared just in case. I had an extra copy of my passport, I had an extra copy of my ID, my birth certificate, everything that is in your folder that you have to go with. Make sure you have an extra copy of it, because sometimes they ask for those extra copies. Sometimes they're like, oh, we didn't get you this when you applied. Do you have it with you? And that you don't want that to be a small problem. Let's say your DS 2019, they didn't receive it on their side, and you're like, oh, but I uploaded it, and they're like, do you have a copy? And you're like, no. They're like, okay, now you have to go get back, you have to wait for this, you have to contact your agency, you have to get a letter of confirmation, even a letter of confirmation from your host family here in America, the ones you get. Make sure you have all your paperwork in order. Make sure you have extra copies. They're not going to take, what the hell? They're not going to take all your stuff, but you want to be prepared. Even there's a letter they ask for where they're like, what are you going to do when you come back? And let's say you're going to work when you come back. When I got my letter like that, I got 2. I made sure, like, even when I made my boss sign it, I made her sign 2 of the exact same letters. Just in case something happens, you want to have all your documents on file. You want to be ready when a problem occurs at the embassy. Number 3, be there early. If people know me, they know that Angel and being on time is oil and water. But for the embassies, both times I was early. Try be there at least an hour before. And the reason why I say at least an hour before is because you could get lost. So many things can happen, and you get there 30 minutes. You end up landing there 30 minutes before. Be there early. You'd rather be there sitting outside and there's already a line. You'd rather be there sitting outside waiting for people to come or just waiting for it to open than be there late, because they're going to notice that and that may not go well. Be there early. Let me put my phone on silence. Everyone is like texting me all of a sudden. Number 4, be in acting mode. From the minute you get downstairs to the security guard, you can't be like, you know, I want to come to America to find a boyfriend and get married. Even with the people you're sitting with in your row, you're like, you know, I have a criminal record, but I haven't told him. I'm not saying now you must obviously like go and do all those things and lie. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to say is and I know of somebody who they got their visa, they were sitting in the row and they were just talking and people were like, oh, you're not coming back. And luckily she had a boyfriend back home, so she's like, no, I'm definitely doing this for a year to save money, study, gain experience, and I'm coming back. And by the time she walked in, apparently it was like the cleaner or something, but they didn't even ask her much questions, because just by having that conversation they kind of confirmed that this one is definitely coming home. So you like, sometimes they're gonna say, oh, what if you meet a cute American guy, or you know, that kind of stuff, and you must be like, listen, I'm going home, you know, like obviously be open, honest, whatever, but you must be in acting mode. Those people are not your friends. You're gonna find people in the line who are gonna be like, oh, what time you slept, having like great conversation. Remember that this is still business at the end of the day. Don't share your life story with these people. Don't get carried away and start going into detail, macho me, and then you're like, how did I get declined? Just be careful. So number 5 bounces off number 4. Be honest. Be honest. I never ever recommend you lying in the process, even at your embassy. Like, be open and honest and say like, hey, why are you coming to America? And me, they asked me like both times. I was like, the first time when they asked me why I want to go to America, I was like, I've never been to America. I would love to do it for a year before I come back, because I just finished study, and so I was like, I would like to do it and then come back and settle down in South Africa. And they were like, oh, okay, cool. I wanted like a gap year. And then the second time now, they were like, why do you want to go back to America? And I was like, I feel like it will give me more experience and it'll make me have more opportunities, even just with different countries. I was like, I will have more favor because I learned a little bit more on marketing and all these things, which was the truth. I was like, I want to gain more experience. I would love to go back to South Africa with at least a college or something, of a year certificate or something, saying on my CV that, you know, I did it in America. I will look more like favorable. And they were like, oh, okay, cool, you know. So that's kind of stuff. Be open, honest, don't lie. If you have a family in America, don't lie about that. If you have if they ask you, let's say you got no job, don't lie and say you have a job, because they're gonna find out, and it's gonna be more worse if they found out that you are lying, because they probably would ban you from not coming to the country at all, ever again. Whereas if they just decline you for that day, you can go back, sort out what the problem was, and come back and you could get a yes. So and also that's another thing, if they say no to you, it's not the end of the world. It just means they found something that they don't agree with. You have to ask them, they'll explain it to you, and then you go back and you sort it out. Or maybe they just felt like they didn't, I don't know, like most of the time it's like they just feel like you don't have tangible evidence to come back to the country, to whichever country you're from. So just prove more information, like say, listen, I have more job offers, I have this, I have that, my family's here. Like with me, I was like, my granny is the most important thing to me. So there's no way I am moving to a whole new country, and I want to study. And then for me, they also just saw that I had been back when I said I was coming back. So that was also a favor for me. Here I am, Georgian. Number 6, relax. Just take a deep breath. Out. Because I know I am like, what's this thing? Is it stressy something, or panic patty or something like that? I tend to panic, especially when, like the first time I didn't know how severe the J1 visa situation was. So I was like, I'm just going to sign the paper, that kind of stuff. So I didn't stress. But the second time, I most definitely stressed, because I was like, oh my gosh, what if they decline? What if they don't decline me? What if they say, what if, and then you go through that whole process where you have to change, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what if somebody put a bomb in my bag? What if my nephew put a lighter in my bag? Now they're gonna think I'm a criminal. Even though I have no criminal cases, I am super innocent, I am a nice person, well, I try, but I have no, like, I've never been to jail, I've never done anything against the law. I was suddenly like panicking, like, oh my gosh, maybe, I don't know, maybe I got a ticket, like I started panicking. And I was like, even when they were asking me questions, I was like, oh my gosh. And when I was in the line, the lady, so there were people before me in Joburg, and the lady that was stealing those people, she was so rude to them, and I was like, oh my gosh, I do not want to, like the whole time I was just like, I did not want to. And thank God I didn't get her. I got a great guy who was like next to her, and he was so warm and welcoming. And they know also, like, especially if you get a nice person, they know that it's nerve-wracking, so they'll try to make it like nice video. Like even he laughed because I was like shaking and giving my stuff, and he's like, just chillax, like it's okay, like do you have this, do you have this? And I was like, yes, I don't know why I'm so nervous, you know. And he laughed and he's like, oh, okay, you know. I was like, oh, because it's so scary. And we made a joke about it. I was like, it's so scary coming in here. You wouldn't think, am I a criminal, am I not? And he's like, yeah, no, every morning we have to do it, that kind of stuff. And so yeah, just relax, like deep breath, because you don't want to make a stupid mistake just because you are nervous. Okay, so the last thing is number 7 is the type of questions they ask you. These are the type of questions that I've got and some of my friends have got. This is not necessarily all the questions they're going to ask you. Basically, this interview is like a conversation. They'll ask you, so where about in New Jersey are you going? Sometimes they'll try to trick you. In my first year, yes, the first time I went, they tried tricking me. They're like, oh, we can see you in the Kansas, is it Kansas City or something? And I was like, no. I even was like, is that what it says in the form? And they're like, oh no. And he's like, so where are you going? And I was like, oh no, I'm going to New Jersey, Chatham, New Jersey. And he's like, oh, okay, so you know where you're going? And I was like, yeah. And I even was like, is that what it says in the form? And the guy's like, no, it doesn't say that. And I was like, oh, okay, because I don't want to go to the wrong place, you know. And he was laughing. So they'll try to trick you to see if you know where you're going, if you're not just like a model or a dummy that just comes and, you know, like fills in the meantime, you're not really going. So they'll say like, oh, what does your host dad do? Like here they ask me like, what does your host dad do? What does your host mom do? How many kids are you gonna have? Like, do you know anyone in America? Is it your first time going to America? What else did they ask me? Oh, my first time in 2016, they were like, oh, it's pretty cold where you going. Are you ready for the cold? Because I was in Durban and I was like, I'm nervous about the cold, but I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna get the right jackets, hopefully. And I was like, I'm just gonna suck it up for one here, you know. And he was like laughing, which made it great. Let me see if I forgot any other questions. Yeah, where are you staying? What does your host family do? How many kids do you have? Is it your first time in America? Are you excited to go to America? Sometimes they'll even say like, what made you choose New Jersey? Or what made you choose like wherever you're going? So those are the questions. It's chill. Before you know it, the interview is over. The build up is long, like the waiting to go in, the escorting, the changing of the belt, and all those things are long. But once you hear, oh, okay, thank you, well done, they stamp it, they close it, they be like, your passport will be ready in 3 days, you'll get an SMS. You're like, I'm done. And then it becomes real. You're like, holy stink, I am going to America. And then you get home and you have to call the person who's helping you in your agency, that kind of stuff, and you're like, I'm really doing this. I am really going to America. And so that is it. They'll send you an SMS. You go pick it up by the place you prefer to pick it up by. Usually it's DHL offices. And then you get your flight details and you're out of the country. So that is it. Also, another thing is, because, well, the borders are open to everyone now, but because of COVID, some families get the NIE. That's like the national emergency paper. You have to go with that and you have to show your host family's badge that they really work as frontline workers, that kind of stuff. So there's that. That's just the extra paperwork that you get. But everything else is still exactly the same. So thank you so much for watching my video. I hope your interview goes well, safe, happy. Come say hi when you're in America. Text me, DM me on my socials. I'll put it here on the screen. Or just come back and comment below this video. Send me your email. Oh my gosh, I have emails for you guys too. I'll put the emails on the screen. And yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna go well and it's gonna be fun. And I'll see you on the flip side. Bye!